There we go. All right, guys. So, yeah, like I said, tonight, this is about becoming the best version of yourself. Okay. And everything you've learned up to this point is going to or has given you tools for you to become the absolute best version of yourself. Okay. Tonight, we are going to learn a few more things and then we're going to tie it all together. We're going to learn a little bit about motivation, self motivation techniques, and I'll show you that all motivation pretty much is self motivation. Okay. Leadership and recognizing the leader in you and showing you how you already have leadership skills already. Okay. And how you are all leaders already. And then 6 keys to personal excellence. Okay. And what is happening here? Um, and you'll recognize those. Okay. Um, so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I'm super excited about this one because motivation is a big one for me. And once you understand how it works, you guys are going to have so much power. It's going to be amazing to be motivated whenever you want to be motivated. Okay. I like this. This is just a quote from Bob Marley. You guys know who Bob Marley is? Yeah. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. Okay. You have all the strength that you need inside you. Sometimes we might not feel like we have strength. And sometimes we call that resilience when you can bounce back from, some obstacles or a challenging situation, but we all have that strength inside us already, right? That we don't necessarily know sometimes until being strong is your only choice. And it just really happens naturally. But just knowing that you have the strength inside you to accomplish whatever you want, you have all the strength, all the power, it's already there. Okay. And when you believe that, that's when you will give yourself the best chance to be successful. Okay. I just really like that quote. I like to share these quotes with you guys in case something does resonate with you. All right. Um, mind in the brain in the body, mind, body, brain connection. Okay. There is a connection between those things. Okay. Does anyone know the difference between, like, when we talk about the mind or the brain? Is it the same thing? I mean, I've got it up here on the screen, but like, does anyone, before you saw this, did you think maybe the brain and the mind were kind of the same thing? Or are they different, or are they connected? Anyone know? Have an opinion? Or never, probably, maybe you never thought about it, right? But now that you know that, when we talk about mindfulness and the mind, there's a connection and between, our body is one whole entity, right? And that's why when I teach my programs, it's based on a holistic approach, the whole body, the whole person. Okay. Because if we just focus on the physical, we're not, optimizing our ability to be the absolute best that we can. If we're just focused on the learning how to play a game, we're not focusing, we're not giving ourselves the best chance. When we have a holistic approach, mind, body, brain, and connect all that stuff together, we're one unit and one solid unit that has the, best chance to optimize your performance. And the mind is kind of like, you know, is useful in the sense that it's believed to have, hold our thoughts and our feelings and our beliefs and kind of not control our behavior, but influence our behavior. And it's not something that you can touch. Like when we talk about the brain, it's an actual, it's an actual 3 pound slab of tissue, right? It's actually something you can see, whereas the mind is not something you can see. It's not a physical source, but it's a resource for us. And like we talked about before, the mind, when we think about something, how we're thinking about something or what we believe about something, and we talk to ourselves in a certain way, that tells the brain how to react to that, right? Our mind is the first part, right? We think about something, we feel a certain way, and then our brain reacts a certain way, wants us to react a certain way, okay? And then the brain tells the body what to do in that situation based on what the mind has, what we've thought up, what we've experienced. Okay, so there is this big connection to us. And when we understand that and how to optimize all three of those parts, then again, we have that connection. We have that ability to optimize our performance. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of share that with you. All right, motivation. Where do you guys think motivation comes from? I already kind of told you, but anyone want to answer? Like
Your
when you
mind.
feel, what's that?
Your mind.
Does it come from like something else, or does it come from you, or where does it come from?
You.
You. Anyone? Everyone agree with that, or anyone? Yeah. Yeah. Motivation comes from you. Motivation is your values. Is based on your values, and your values are what's important to you. Okay. The only person that can motivate you, truly motivate you, is you. So for us to be successful, we need to find the things that motivate us. Okay. It's not about what someone else thinks is important for us. Okay. It's what you want, not what someone else wants for you. That's how you'll be motivated, right? The things that you like to do, you're motivated to do them because you like to do them. You don't feel like you need motivation to do those things, right? You just kind of feels normal because you like it and you just do it. But there are times when even the things that we like, we need to find a way to be motivated, right? We show up to practice and it's like, oh man, we've done this same thing, you know, 100 times already. I'm just like, I just don't want to do it. I'm not motivated to do this again. So how can I be motivated in that situation? If I have something that I need to do that I don't feel motivated to do, how do you think I can be motivated? So if the only person that can motivate me is me, I need to find out what's important to me about what I'm doing. Okay. And it's like, what do I value about what I'm doing? So if it's, we get to practice and, we're doing the same drill and it's like, oh man, but I want to be motivated, right? I want to feel good about what I'm doing. So sometimes I got to peel back the layers. It's not always right in front of my face. Why is this important to me? Well, okay, I have to dig in here, but maybe my teammates are super important to me. Okay. I want to make sure that my teammates trust me. They see me working hard and they know I can accomplish this thing when it comes to game time. They're going to trust me. And that's important to me. So guess what I just did to myself right now? I motivated myself. I dug a little bit deeper to find why it's important to me, why this is important. And it might not be the thing that's important. It's maybe the surrounding things or the underlying stuff that's important to you. Right? So my teammates are important to me and I want to make sure they trust me. And I'm showing, I am a leader, so I'm gonna like work hard and show everyone, that they can trust me because I know how to do this particular skill. Guess what? I'm super motivated to do this drill now. I did not want to do this drill 2 minutes ago, but now I do because I found what's important to me. Okay. Same within school, right? Um, maybe I don't want to, I'm coming out, I got a math test tomorrow and I'm just not super psyched about it. And I got to I got to study, and then, like, oh man, I hate math. Like, I'm just, I'm not very good at it, but I want to feel good, right? I want to feel good about the things I'm doing. So if I want to feel, because that doesn't feel good when I approach something that way. Okay. So I want to feel good. So what do? I got to dig a little deep. Why is this? Why? I got to find something that's important to me about this math test. What's the underlying stuff here? Well, guess what? I want to play college baseball. So in order to play college baseball, I need to pass this math class because I need to get good grades so that I can get into the school that I want to get into, because that's important to me. It's not about the math. It's about the other thing that's now guess what? I just motivated myself to study for that math test and give my absolute best on that math test because I want to go play college baseball down the road. So guess what? I just motivated myself. And guys, you can do this for anything in your life that you might not feel motivated about. You just have to find what's important to you about it. And it might not be on the surface. You might have to dig a little bit deep to find it. But you have the power to be motivated whenever you choose to be. Okay? You have a choice. Just like any of this stuff that we're talking about, you have a choice to be motivated or not. Okay? Does that make sense? You got to dig a little bit deep to find it sometimes, but it's there. You will be able to find it. Okay? So you can be motivated whenever you choose to be motivated. All right? Any questions about that? Okay. There's a couple different motivation strategies, and we'll just kind of quickly go over this. Um, there's two types, there's different, like, but we're going to just talk about, like, this one's towards, we're working towards motivation or away. Okay. Towards or away. One is a little bit more on the, like, towards motivation is going to be a little bit more on the, we'll just say, positive side. The away motivation is still motivation, but it's stressful, right? You approach it from the fact of, like, I don't want to lose, so I'm motivated by not wanting to lose versus being motivated because I want to win, right? So this, I don't want to lose, and I'm motivated to play better because I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose so bad, right? But that is, it's kind of like fear driven and anxiety driven. You're afraid of the consequences, so you're motivated to do something. Okay, and it's stressful on the body. Someone who's away from motivated, might be the type of hitter, and my son was like this when he played. Man, he would, like, let every pitch go by sometimes, but then when he got two strikes on him, he was like, you couldn't get him out because he didn't want to strike out so bad. Versus over here, towards motivated, this person is like the person that just is ready to go first pitch and just, wants to, thrives on that first pitch in the count, right? Or when he's ahead in the count. This one's a little, this one's a little bit more defensive, right? We're being defensive minded, where we're not really going after something. We don't really get motivated until something actually happens. Okay, I got two strikes on me, now I better bear down. Versus over here, we're like, all right, I'm ahead in the count, I'm waiting for that pitch that I'm going to drive. Okay, it's not bad or wrong. I'm just saying you might notice that about yourself sometimes. It is what it is. We're all just unique. Okay. This towards motivated, like, you want to win. You want to win very bad. Okay. um you're goal oriented, achievement driven, and you take action, right? Versus this way, the away, you're waiting for something to happen, so you're afraid of the consequences and you're waiting for that to happen before you actually really put your best foot forward. Okay. Just noticing this, if you're away from motivated and you notice this about yourself, you can shift that too, right? It's noticing it and then going, okay, telling yourself, all right, I want to feel good. So I want to, change my strategy. This is just a strategy that you have in your brain. Okay. We can change that strategy. I want to do it differently. So now I am going to, you know, change my strategy when I'm hitting and be ready for the first pitch and not wait for me to get two strikes on me before I give my best effort. Okay. Does that make sense? Sort of, a little bit. All right. So for us to give ourselves the best chance to be successful here, we got a successful motivation strategy. And guys, you'll recognize this, okay? To optimize this successful motivation strategy is to see the successful completion of what you want to do and feel like you've already done it. Does that sound familiar? Of something maybe we've done already? Right? Creating those outcomes that we did. Okay, when we closed our eyes and we pictured ourselves at the successful completion of whatever it is that we wanted to achieve. Okay. The key to motivation, again, is really for you to be truly motivated. It has to be aligned, right? We have to find the value in it for us. It has to be aligned with our values. Okay. Do you guys remember the ACE? Remember what it stands for? Alignment. So it has to be aligned with your values. You have to truly believe it. It has to be clear. Okay, and then we also add the emotional component to it. How do I feel? What do I see? Really adding in all of your senses. Okay, what do I see? What do I feel? What do I hear? Okay, who's around me? Like making it as real as possible. How do I really feel after this? I'm so excited after I've completed whatever this task is. Okay, and even if you don't see yourself as already done it and feeling it in every single part of your body, you know that you can just go back and change your approach. Okay, so if it's it doesn't feel right, you can change that strategy and think of it in a different way and redo it in a sense. Okay, do it as many times as you need to, so you feel like, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm good. I feel really good about this situation. Okay, I'm motivated to accomplish this task. Seeing it's going to guide you to take action towards what you want. Okay, you can't wait for it to happen to get excited about it. We want to get excited about it first, and then we will see the results. Okay, because it changes how you feel. When you get excited about it, it changes how you feel. And remember, we talked about how you feel affects your body language, but it also affects your behavior, right? And how motivated you are going to be. So we need to feel good first, get excited first, and then we will get motivated, right? And it also can help us be a better teammate. If my teammates see me, man, I'm motivated, I can be motivated all the time. Wow, you are really excited about a lot of things and motivated and positive in the dugout and all that. And it's like you're using all this stuff, you're going to be a better teammate. And you know what's going to happen is your teammates are going to want to do what you're doing because they see you and they see you doing different things and they want to be like you because you're showing signs of being that leader, okay, and being successful. And just remember, no matter what happens, you can be motivated. When you use these strategies, when you understand that motivation is your values and what's important to you, now you can be motivated whenever you choose to be, right? And when you're motivated like that, we are better leaders, okay? Does anyone kind of feel like they are in a leadership role, like on their team or, yeah? maybe, sort of. I mean, there's different, if you think about it, there's different types of leaders too. A lot of times, a good leader will lead by example, right? If you're doing positive things and you're working hard and you are, doing things that are helping you be successful, that is leadership, right? Because people are going to want to be like you and do what you do and find out what you do because you are being successful. And there's just a few things here that really I'm going to show you that, yeah, we can learn how to be good leaders. We can read books and all, things like that. And that's really good too. I'm not saying it's not, but I want to show you that you already have these leadership skills in you already. And especially here, this is our leader pyramid. Okay. You guys, so first of all, would you say that you've all committed to personal development? You're taking this program, right? That's a commitment to personal development. That's doing something different than other people are doing. Okay. Other people your age are not doing this as much as, or much at all. So you're already committing to your personal development at such a young age that is going to set you so far apart from your competition. You guys are going to, give yourself the absolute best chance to be successful by just committing to some personal development, looking for ways to do things differently. And that's what you're doing by even just taking this program. Okay. So that's a leadership quality already that you guys have. Okay. Recognizing where change is needed. So we recognize that, hey, we're not getting the results we want. And so I'm going to do something different. Like Caleb just told us that he put his phone down an hour before bed. He's like, maybe I'm not getting the best sleep. I haven't been sleeping well. Put my phone down, right? And now I've recognized that maybe I should do something different. But so you did that. And not only did you do that, but you had, you were willing to do that because it's easy for you to take your phone to bed. It's easy to stay the same way, do the same things. But we recognize, hey, I'm not really getting the results I want. And now I'm actually, that's recognizing is one thing, but now, I'm actually going to make this change. That's the thing. We recognize it a lot. Oh man, that didn't feel very good, but we don't a lot of times do something about it. Whereas just that simple thing of putting your phone down an hour before bed, that's a willingness to change. Recognizing where change is needed, not sleeping that well. So I'm going to put my phone down. Your willingness to change. Okay. Leadership skills right there that you didn't know that you had. That's a sign of a leader. And you guys all have that in you already. Okay. You've been doing different things since you've been taking this course. You've all tried something different, even if it was just on here when we did our creating successful outcome. Okay. Did that mindfulness piece, right? Recognizing where change is needed. And now I've actually been willing to change. Okay. Leadership. Boys, you guys all have it. Eliminating inappropriate emotional response. That was the first day we talked about how, our thoughts or an experience is unique to us, and then it creates a feeling for us, right? And it shows up in our behavior. So our willingness again to notice that, hey, this isn't feeling very good. My behavior is not going to be appropriate or isn't appropriate for the situation. And, noticing those things. And now I have the choice to eliminate those inappropriate emotional responses where I just react, smack my bat on the ground, lash out at something, punch something, whatever it is. It happens, right? But now that you guys know all this stuff, your ability to eliminate those inappropriate emotional responses over time, it's going to take practice. It's not going to happen overnight. We're human. It's just the way it is. But the more you can do it, the more you're going to take control of the results that you're going to get. And that is another leadership quality that you guys already have. Okay. And again, the predictable responses is the same thing. So we eliminate the emotional response, but now we have predictable responses. I know how I'm going to react now when this happens because I used to react this way, but now I've taken it upon myself, that responsibility to eliminate those responses that I don't want. And now it's a predictable response. I know that I'm going to be okay in this situation or in other situations. Okay. Leadership, boys, you have that already. Or your ability to achieve your desired outcomes. Okay. That's goal setting. And that's also when we created our successful outcomes. Okay. You have a tool now to be able to achieve your outcome by setting that goal, setting that achievable outcome that's aligned with you, that's very clear, and that you've added the emotional part of it. Okay. All your senses in there. You now have a unique ability to achieve what you want when you want to do it. Okay. Leadership, boys. These are all things that you have in you already. Okay. Conscious of the results of your communication. This one was part of our 10 principles of excellence that I'm going to show you after. Okay. But we talked a little bit about this. So what it means is that when a lot of times we think when we're communicating with someone, or me as a coach, as an example. So I tell you guys um how to do something, a skill. If three of you go, I don't know how to do that. That doesn't, I can't understand it. If I say, not my fault, you guys should know that, figure it out. Right? That's not, first of all, it doesn't feel very good. Second of all, if I truly care about that you guys understand this information, I want to make sure you know how to do it. And so that goes also back to our communication preferences. Okay, remember the auditory, visual, kinesthetic. How do we learn best, right? Maybe I just told you guys something and we got a couple visual learners, so I got to show you how to do it, right? So now I relook at it and I'm like, okay, I can't just tell them, I need to show them now how to do it and then let them do it. And maybe everybody will understand. Then all six of you understand now how to do it because I took that responsibility for my communication because it was important to me. You guys can do the same thing, right? If something is important to you, you want to make sure that you're 100% responsible for that communication. Okay. So that you can get the results that you want. Okay. And you guys have that already. Ability to build strong relationships. When you understand more about people and understand you guys remember the picture of the head, right? From day one. You guys remember that? Yeah. Right. So when we understand that each uh experience that we have is unique to us alone, right? And we're all going to act differently, we're all going to feel different, we're all going to react differently. Okay. And your ability to build strong relationships based on the fact that you know now that everyone has a different experience um, that's unique to them. No matter what happens, we can have a little bit of empathy for people, and that allows us to build strong relationships. Okay. When we understand about people, when we understand that everyone's a little bit different, we are going to build stronger relationships with those people. Okay. Our ability to influence and inspire others. Again, your hard work, the fact that you can stay motivated whenever you choose to, you'll influence and inspire other people by just doing those things. Right? Does that make sense? Whoops. Okay. The leadership is also the alignment of your values. When you're living true to your values and what's important to you, first of all, you'll be motivated to do the things that are going to get you the results that you want. Okay. And then it also allows you to live your purpose. Does anyone know what that means? If I'm living my purpose? Living true to myself, I am, you know, believing in myself. I am following my heart. If my gut tells me something's right, I do that. Right? A lot of times we don't allow ourselves to like listen to our body and what it's telling us inside. Okay, if something feels off, if it's like, yeah, you know what, this doesn't feel right. Sometimes we might do it anyways because other people are doing it or whatever. We get influenced by that. When I'm living true to my purpose, it's like I recognize those things and I know that, hey, this isn't right. I'm going to not do this and I'm going to just kind of walk away here. Okay, living my purpose, true to myself, because then I feel good. And when I do all these things, it allows me to find ways to get all the results that I want to get in my life and do the things I want to do and feel good about what we're doing. The goal for us, you guys, is to feel good about what we're doing. So these skills are going to help you feel good about what you're doing. Okay. These are all parts of being a leader that you guys have inside you already and that you've learned over the last 6 weeks. Okay. All right. Our 6 keys from success to excellence. You guys, this stuff is, you're going to recognize this because really what it is, it's our 6 weeks. Okay. Our 6 sessions. That's the 6 keys to success. How could they be anything else, right? So number 1 is our mindset. It's the foundation of how we live our lives. Okay. It's our perception of how we perceive information from the outside world. It's our communication to the outside world comes from our mindset. Okay. And it allows us to have choice. When we understand this about ourselves, how we perceive information from the outside world, now I have a choice. I have a choice of how I show up every single day. Okay. And that's a mindset. And the mindset also includes the supportive self-talk and beliefs, right? What I believe about myself shows up in the way that I'm talking to myself. Okay. And the way I'm talking to myself will affect the way that I feel. And how I feel affects my body language and my behavior. Okay. So, how I'm talking to myself, it's also the same as my thoughts. Okay. I think about something in the past, my thought, and my thought actually creates a feeling for me. Right. I think about, or even if I hear, it doesn't matter. Like it can be anything. It can be a smell, right? You smell something. I don't know if you ever experienced that where you walk into somewhere and you're like, oh, and then you instantly get like this memory of, um, of something, right? Or you hear a song on the radio or you hear, one of your favorite songs and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, remember we were hanging out, you know, me and Caleb were hanging out and we had so much fun, but it's just from hearing that song. But hearing that song made me feel a certain way, right? So it's not always just things not real stuff all the time, right? It's our thoughts. And it can also be in the future when we're thinking about something that hasn't happened yet. Okay, this is an important one for you guys when you're competing, because a lot of times, again, what we believe about ourselves or believe about our ability or our team's ability to compete, oh man, I hate going up to Kelowna because they always crush us. So, I went 0 for 8 in our last two games up in Kelowna, and now we got to go up to Kelowna. Okay, so did that is that something that I created in my own head? Yeah. And guess what? That made me feel a certain way. Now all the way up to Kelowna, I'm thinking about, how bad I might play or how much I don't want to be going to Kelowna and playing at, wherever we're playing and facing whoever we're facing. And I did that myself. And now I feel a certain way. And now my behavior is going to be a certain way, and it's going to affect my performance. So the more I can talk to myself in a way that's going to support me, if I'm going to make something up, I might as well make something up good, right? Oh man, I can't wait to get, regardless of the results, the prior results. I can't wait to go to Kelowna. It's going to be awesome. The weather's going to be great. I love playing up there. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait to get up there. This drive's going to be awesome. Okay. That feels different, but I made that up in my head too. Okay. So now I have a choice of how I notice my self talk. Hey, that's not making me feel good. It's not going to help me perform better. So how can I do that? Well, change my self talk. Okay. Change my self talk. And now I feel different and I'm excited to go play. And again, I'm motivated to go play. All right. Number three, we're creating successful outcomes. And we just talked a little bit about this, but you know, um, if you don't remember how we did it, we closed our eyes, we just kind of relaxed a bit. We did some breathing where we watched our breath go in, watch it leave, right? We'll bring in the relaxation and exhale, inhale that relaxation, exhale any stress, okay? And then we float up and kind of picture ourselves in after the successful completion of whatever it is that we want to do. Okay, so in the sense of, I'm going up to play Kelowna because I'm afraid to face Caleb, and I'm just kidding, but maybe. Um, yeah, he's going. You should be afraid to face me because I'm going to plunk you. But um, so I'm thinking about in my head, I create that successful outcome, whether it's like, okay, I'm driving home with my parents and we're driving home from Kelowna and we're in the car and we're all, we're having fun, we're eating a burger, and it's like, oh man, those games were great. It was so fun playing in Kelowna. I can't wait to go back. I can't wait to get back in the cage and hit more and do all these things. And that, like, creating that feeling for myself. So that's after the successful completion of those, that double header. And now I go in and I kind of play it exactly the way that I want it to play out. So we picture myself pulling up to the stadium and getting out and, meeting my teammates, and then, putting on my spikes and going out there and throwing, and then, picture myself in some at bats, and then like making some plays on defense or pitching or whatever it is. And then see myself again in the car with my parents, celebrating, eating my burger, listening to good music or my headphones in, feeling really good, looking at all the scenery, like making it as real as possible. And you do that a couple times at mental rehearsal. Okay. Mental rehearsal is repeating the steps that you want, how you want it to play out, exactly the way that you want it to play out. Okay. And now when when you are actually getting to the field, your brain already feels like you've already been there and played that game already. Okay, so it can help eliminate nerves, right? Because we're nervous, we don't know what it's going to be like, but now I've created this successful outcome for myself, picturing it exactly the way I want it to play out. And now I'm not really nervous anymore. I don't have, I can eliminate those like nervous butterflies and that type of stuff sometimes too. Okay. So That's creating those outcomes. Super powerful stuff, guys. And now you have a tool to be able to do that. Again, if you want to, do some more work after, I can, set up some times with you and we can go through it again and do some personal, like some one-on-one stuff. Just if you need to solidify that for yourself. Okay, then we talked about number 4, the learning process and optimizing your own learning, learning style. And learning, it was just kind of like a little bit more self-awareness, learning about yourself and how you can learn the best. Okay, whether it's just because you're, more your higher preferences, maybe auditory or visual or kinesthetic. Now you can kind of understand a little bit on how some information that you might need, some more information that you might need to when you're learning, when you're trying to learn some new information. All right. And it allows you to be curious and ask questions. All right. And then we talked about your brain and performance and sleep and how important sleep was and how sleep affects your brain and how that affects your performance and how important sleep is. Sleep is probably the number one, like we talked about, number one performance enhancer that we have. Okay. We say it's the most underutilized, readily available performance enhancer that we have, sleep. Okay, then hydration, staying hydrated. If you're thirsty, it's already too late, right? And we don't keep a reserve of water. We're not camels, right? We drink and then we pee out the rest that we don't need. Okay, notice the color of your pee. If it's getting to be a darker color, you need to start drinking more. Okay, notice that throughout the day. Be consistent with drinking water. Get up in the morning, have a big glass of water. Boom. Soak that sponge up. Okay. We talked a little bit about nutrition and some healthy eating habits, right? Just noticing what you're eating and how much sugar you might be taking in and, how that's affecting you. And sugar really, can give us a real big boost of energy and then it can, bring us down depending on our insulin levels and that type of stuff too, right? So just being aware of what fuel you're giving your body. Okay, food is fuel. Okay, and obviously, sometimes having, crap is okay. Like it's part of being human. I have crap too. I had a big hunkin' Nanaimo bar yesterday. It was amazing. My mom makes the Nanaimo bar. We had Christmas early because she's going away. And yeah, she made this big Nanaimo bar. I don't normally eat that stuff, but man, oh, it was good. Anyways, just made me feel a certain way just by thinking about that Nanaimo bar. My mouth started watering. See, it works just by thinking about something. Okay, rest and recovery. Oops, rest and recovery. Making sure that we are getting the proper amounts of rest, listening to our body, and recovering so that we get back to where we were before we, were sore or injured. We do need the rest and recovery. We don't always let our bodies do that, and we need to do that. It is an absolute must that we get enough rest and recovery. Exercise, you guys are probably getting lots of exercise, so that is not an issue for you. And then your self-care, right? Just noticing that, hey, I got to slow it down sometimes. Life happens fast. Your games happen fast. You're running, you're going from school to practice and back home, grab something to eat, and then you're going to your game, and then you're going here and you're going to, all these different things, and it's just go, 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 go. Right? We need to, really need to slow it down sometimes and just kind of like, whether it's doing some little bit of breathing exercise or just sitting by yourself and just kind of, just kind of slowing everything down, just a couple minutes of just, all right, just, I gotta just kind of take some time for myself. I find going for a walk really helps me. Leave my phone at home. I don't even bring it with me because if it's in my pocket, then I think about it. Right. And then I'm tending to use it. So, just kind of go for a 15-minute walk, leave the phone at home. It's hard sometimes, but it really does help you kind of, decompress from whatever it is that you might need a little bit of self-care from. Okay. And those are the missing links, right? We talked about cause and effect. Okay, I didn't talk about it above, but cause and effect, right? If I'm living at cause or at effect, right? I'm living at cause means I'm taking responsibility for the results that I'm getting. And when I do that, I'm looking for a way to do something different to get a different result, taking that responsibility, even though I didn't get the result I wanted, taking that responsibility versus being at the effect of something else. So I'm blaming someone else or something else for the results I get. I'm blaming the umpire for the fact that I struck out. I'm blaming my coach because he didn't show me that. I'm blaming my teacher because they didn't teach me how to do that properly. That's why I failed the test. Okay. I'm blaming someone else for the results that I didn't get. And when I do that, I'm not looking for a solution to my problem. If I truly want to get better, I need to take responsibility for the results I'm getting so that I can find a way to do it differently. Okay. Super important, guys. Cause and effect. It's massive. Such a simple thing, but it's massive. Okay. And then the best version of yourself. Okay. The motivation techniques, your motivation is your values, and that's what's important to you. And sometimes you got to dig a little bit deeper to be motivated. But when you understand this, like we talked about, what's important about this, what's important to me about this, about what I'm doing, so that I can be motivated to do it because I want to feel good. Okay. So I have to dig a little bit deeper sometimes. But when I know that, now I can be motivated whenever I choose to be. It's a choice. Okay. And here's the thing, we're human. We're not going to feel 100% everything's rainbows and butterflies every single day. This is not real. And that's okay. However you feel is normal. And if you're not motivated one day, it's okay. If you don't feel like doing something, it's okay. All right. Everybody needs a break. Everybody needs to, we're human. We got stuff going on. We got stuff at home. We got stuff at school. We got girlfriends. We got all this stuff going on. It's okay to not feel great all the time. Seriously, it is. I'm telling you this stuff and sharing it with you because I'm talking about regular stuff that we're doing. There's, other things that happen in our lives that I don't want to just pretend that, because I know this, I walk around like this all day long, right? Every single day. I don't, and nobody does. But you guys have some tools now to be able to do those things if you choose to do them. But we do have to acknowledge the fact that we're human and not beat ourselves up about it. And it's okay. All right. Does that make sense? I don't want you to think that just because you're not walking around, you know, like everything's, all peachy creamy, right? That's just not real. What's real is that you're human and you're going to feel however you feel. And that's 100% normal. Okay. This little mental health PSA for you. I had lots of struggles in my life, especially as a firefighter. And, I was in an environment where it was like, suck it up. You're a man. Men don't have feelings. You shouldn't feel that way because of that. Right. And then we pack away that stuff. We pack it away and we pack it away. But the reality is we're human. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. We still have feelings. We still have, we're human. So I want you to know that just because I'm teaching you all this stuff doesn't mean that this other stuff does not happen in our lives and that we need to be, um, all rainbows and butterflies all the time. Okay. Just had to say that because I'm a big mental health advocate as well. I started a foundation. It's just kind of getting going. It's called Strike Out the Stigma. And so maybe you guys will be hearing about that because I'm going to try and my goal is to get every player in the province to be wearing a sticker. These are stickers. You just don't have it yet, but also so it's just I'm getting t-shirts and stuff made up, but I'm gonna go around and hopefully share that with your organizations and that, and that's my goal is I want to support everybody and make sure that everybody is who's playing sports, especially baseball for me, but it's a safe, non-judgmental, supportive environment that you're in. And so anyways, I just wanted to share that, guys, because that's the reality of life. But these are tools that you have now that you can use to help yourself feel better, to help yourself get the results that you want, to help you think differently, to help you know that you have the absolute power and you have everything you need inside you already to be as successful as you ever want to be in your life. Right? These are just tools. These are just the difference makers. These are the things that are going to help set you apart. You have these tools, man. That's exciting. I'm excited for you guys because so many people don't have this stuff yet. I wish everybody could have it, right? But you guys right now are lucky that you are ahead of the game, okay? Ahead of your competition, ahead of, your classmates and whatever you choose to do. And this stuff translates into, it's on the field, off the field, in school, in your life as a worker. Like all these things are going to help you do the things that you want to do in your life and be as successful as you could ever dream of. Okay. These are just something that I have attached. Okay. It's not something we went over in the course, but I think these are important. Especially there's no failure, only feedback. We did talk about that. Responsible for my communication, but I just wanted to share these with you, for you to kind of read over and go through on your own time. And maybe one day I will do another, just a one, kind of maybe like a 1 hour thing on the 10 principles of excellence and what that means. But I wanted to share these with you because you are, part of my complete athlete world now. So that's awesome. I'm super excited about that. And just remember, you guys, the choice is yours every single day, how you show up. The choice is yours on how you show up to do what it is that you want to do every single day in your life. Okay. This picture is kind of like, I don't know why these people are doing what they're doing, but this person's like, oh, I'm going to sit over here on the window and look at all this, all this beautiful stuff. And this guy chose to like sit here and stare at the rock. Right. Doesn't mean that he, again, like we talked about mental health stuff. So obviously we're not talking about that, but just in general, we have a choice of where we sit on the bus, right? And that choice is yours. And choice, like we talked about, is powerful. Okay, because it opens up endless possibilities for you to be as successful as you ever want to be in your life. And you have choice. All right. And power. So if you guys, again, you can do this later, but just answer these questions. I think they're important. Okay, what's the most important thing you learned today? How are you going to implement the new information that you learned? How will you maintain this change? And how will it affect your future success? All right. Guys, I'm super excited to have had the opportunity to share this with you guys. Thank you for sticking it out for, hours. I know you guys are tired. I know you guys are doing lots of things, but this will help you get to where you want to be. And if you ever need anything from me, if you ever want to talk about anything, I'll be here to support you in whatever it is that you need. You have that from me now that you got me. You can't get rid of me now. All right. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys again soon. Good luck in your seasons. If you're in the area, I know you guys are not all from here, but if you're ever in the area, come and say hi if we're playing at Douglas, or just drop by the facility anytime. And yeah, you're more than welcome to come and join us and check out our program there.
Thanks, Brad.
All right, guys. I will send you. I'm going to print you up some certificates, okay? Or I'll give you the PDF. I got a certificate for each of you for the completion of this course. And I will send the PDF to your parents. I'll email them, okay? And yeah, again, just reach out anytime, you guys. And remember, change your mind, change your game, change your life. Okay. All right, boys. That's all I got. Anyone got any
Thank
questions?
you. Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah, thank you, boys. 6 weeks of power.
Bye.
Yep.
Okay. See you, boys.
See ya. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.